So,
Yeah.
but that's about it, man. Just before we move forward, mental health check is it's Men's Mental Health Month, and not just for the sake of the month. I just think for the sake of just period. I just want to do a mental health check to just see how you doing. I mean, like I know we talked about the week itself, but just mentally, emotionally, like how you doing, brother?
Oh man, that's what I tell you. Is I'm really an outside person, a heavy outside person,
Mm-hmm.
and that
Mm-hmm.
does so much for my mental health. Like just being able to, the trees, the birds, like just the nature, like it does something for me. So, like I said, all around this time of the year, I try to get outside. 'Cause it does something for me. Like it helps me, and like I even do grounding, like where I walk on the ground barefoot. Where they say kind of get closer in the nature, you get closer in the earth. So I'm in that type of mindset, like more mindfulness, like just understanding, like shoot, everything gonna be peaches and cream, but life is a series of tunnels. If you ain't just coming out of something, you're about to go through something. So like
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that, and actually I heard that from Pastor Todd. Rest in peace. He used to preach at Christ Haven, a church, and he said that
Mm-hmm.
if you ain't coming out of something, you about to go through something. And that's just
Yeah.
how life
Yeah.
is. Like if I think in life, you might have just been coming through something. Dang, I just came out of this situation. Then a little while longer, eventually you're gonna go through something. So I
Mm-hmm.
never get like kind of how Peyton Manning say, never get too high, get too low. Just stay right in that. Never get
Mm-hmm.
overconfident, underconfident. Just that right level of confidence. So I
Mm-hmm.
never get too high, even with the wins, and I never get too low, even with the losses. Like I kind of just
Mm-hmm.
remain just even kills. So I feel like that's what's been keeping me good. Especially this mental health awareness month.
For me, I would say the same too, man. Like we're having both the kids full time. I haven't had a lot of time to myself to do like I like to go on walks around here. It's a beautiful neighborhood,
Yeah.
bunch of trees, bunch of grass, nice buildings and stuff like that. Good scenic views. Um, and I hadn't had a chance in a while, and I got a chance a few times this week to get out early. Like I would usually get out early in the morning, about 7, 8 in the morning, and go for a walk for about an hour or so. And I got a chance to do that this week, and it felt good. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to do it as much. If I am going on a walk, I got the kids with me. You know what I mean? So just to have that opportunity to kind of like blow off some steam, digress, listen to some music, get into my creative mind, just be one. You feel me? And just kind of like digress for a second. You know what I mean? Like that's something that I do a lot, that I try to do periodically. And then also too been going to the gym this week. Try and keep that up too. That helps a lot too. That helps to blow off some steam.
Yeah.
So those are some things that I've been doing as of late, just trying to stay out in front of things. Because I like what you said about like if you're not coming out of something, you get ready to go through something, and it could go either way. So I just want to be prepared, however way it go, because it's going to go whatever you go, whatever happened, you got to go through it. You can't run from it, you can't duck it, you can't
Nah,
hide from it. So um, just making sure that I'm prepared and just try to remain sharp, trying to sharpen
I
up and
personally,
all that. So.
that's what makes life beautiful, man. You never really know what you about to
Hmm.
go through or what you about to come out of. Like I
Yeah,
can't,
yeah.
if you'd have told me, 20 years ago, I'd be living the life I'm living now, I wouldn't have believed you. No matter how high hopes I had, any of that, like God is always the best of planners. Like the route that He has
Hmm.
destined for us is always something that we can never really possibly imagine. So
Hmm.
be thankful for the
Okay,
journey.
man. Well, it's good to hear that you're taking things well. Again, it could be a little heavy on this. So I just even with this, I appreciate you with this thing. Like I've been trying to get back to this aspect of it. I've been doing a lot of interviews,
Yeah.
but I haven't been doing too much podcasting. So it could be a lot. We doing the editing and all that other stuff like that. It could be heavy. So when you got somebody that's working with you and willing to put in with some of the work, it's a blessing. So I just want to make sure everything is good
Hey,
outside of
this
this. You
last I
feel
said
me?
when I say cut out alcohol, sodas, like sugars, like eating
Hmm.
healthier. All I'm
Hmm.
drinking is water, like skin glowing. Like you see, I
Hmm.
got the glow like with Bruce Leroy, baby. Like can't say
Bruce
like I
Leroy.
just like so it's really get more rest, trying to not be in control of my anger, this and that. Like, so it's just this been a beautiful thing, man. It's really keeping me,
That's what's up.
together. Like, so mental health awareness month, man. I pray anybody, if you're going through something, you having any struggles, man, please reach out. Please tap in. Like
Word.
if you gotta reach out to suicide lines or just awareness
Hmm.
people to talk to, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to hide. Like people care. It's every day somebody does that. Makes that decision. So if you feeling like that, please reach out to somebody and talk. Like it's somebody that's here for you. So
Word, word. Shout out to you, man. So all right, so moving along, our main topic this week, morals and manners. I kind of like just want to like kind of like break down the two and kind of like point out if there's any differences, the pros and cons. Um, let's basically the benefits of raising your child on good values versus filling voids with superficial ideas and or things. So what's your thoughts on like morals and manners as far as like your parenting is concerned or just in parenting
Well, I feel like
period?
it builds entitledness when you constantly giving them the superficial things.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a realistic portrayal of life, what life is going to be. You basically
Mm-hmm.
failing them. You're setting them up for a failure in the long run. Because that's not how life is. You don't just get
Mm-hmm.
what you want when you want it. Like sometimes life ain't fair. Sometimes you got to work for what you
Mm-hmm.
want. So just
Mm-hmm.
building those morals, that those hard work ethic, and things of that nature. That's why I put in my kids. Like I say little things like, "Look, pain is temporary. Like you got to work. If a man don't work, he don't eat." Like I kind of drum these things in my kids. Like I'd rather you be respectful than be, successful. Like, if you could be
Mm-hmm.
a successful, disrespectful person, I'd rather you be a respectful bum. Like,
Right,
not be a
right,
bum,
right.
but I'd rather you be
But
respectful.
right.
Like, so it's just, I always try to speak to my kids about that because it's so many kids where well, adults now they don't have good morals, they don't have a good mindset. They'll do anything for attention, anything for a dollar, anything for some money. And if I try to drum it to my kids, like I be doing little things with my daughters, like where I be like, all right, such and such, I give you some money. They're like, all right, yeah, daddy, I go with you. No, that's the rule number one. A man should not be able to pay you to be able to
Right,
do something, come
right,
somewhere. No,
right,
let your
right, right,
morals be high. It's
right.
worth more than $1. It's worth more than that.
Word,
So
word. No, real rap though.
I put that
Yeah.
in them that early. So once they not impressed by that come 15, 20 years from now, man, like here, take this money, baby, let's go somewhere and do something that they don't want to do. No, my dad told me that early. So no, morals is definitely something you gotta stress to with your
Gotta have them
kids
joints in tech.
early. You get early, like teach a child young, teach a child while they're young, and they won't depart from the ways when they're old. Like, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
drum into these kids at a young age, and even if they get into their rebellious years, like we did when we was teenagers, you gotta think. We still as adults, we remember what our mom said to us before those rebellious years. We remember those things, and we hold on
Mm-hmm.
to those core values. So I think that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm still big on now. Just trying to talk to my kids about that.
So what influenced the question for me was, and you may have seen this going around. It's like a little meme that go around and it say something like along the lines of your child's manners says more about your parenting than what you buy them.
Absolutely.
Something along that line, right? Because uh, people tend to get caught up in what they buy their children and they forget to teach the children manners,
Yeah.
teach them how to have respect for themselves.
Right.
Number one, for adults, other adults and be their
Yeah.
peers. You feel me? That's why I think like like even the concept of people morals being misaligned. Thinking that all you got to do is buy things or provide when that's just an aspect of parenting, right?
Right.
How you raise your child, like so, like you said, I feel exactly what you were saying, right? No, you don't want your child to be a bum, but it's like, yo, money ain't everything.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna make like the fact that you dress nice or you the prettiest person in the room or got the longest hair or the best looking outfit on. It makes up for the fact that you're rude to people. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
that type of joint. And to your point, it starts at home, and one of the tough like so for like me, one of the toughest things has been, you know, period, like in parenting, period, not just with like more well, yeah, with morals, right? Is instilling certain things, but not having the support of, like my child's mother, whomever, at the time it is.
Yeah.
And that's problematic for like the child
Yeah.
because,
Absolutely.
I'm not to say that my child's mother is just prone to teaching my child ignorant things, but I just feel like if that's where my mindset is more on like, making sure that my son knows how to have critical thinking and think his way through like how he feels opposed to just automatically acting off of it.
Right.
Right? Whether or not he got Jordans on doesn't justify that for me.
Right.
You feel me? I want him to be able to do that regardless of what kind of sneakers he got on. You feel me? And I think us as parents, and I get it too because it comes from like probably not having stuff. So we want that for our children. But it's so much more to like parenting than just things, right? There's nothing wrong with affording those things for your children, right? But again, I think a lot like you said, like finding like dignified ways to attain those things. Like you don't just get the PlayStation 5 because everybody else got it, right? Like what have you done to earn it?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, those types of things, right? And those are the things I try to instill in like my sons mainly. But like I said, it get hard because this it could be a disconnect between myself, and his mother.
Yeah.
So therefore, like the message might not resonate because it's not being driven when he's not with me. You
Yeah.
follow me? So therefore, it might come across like because I'm teaching a hard lesson. You follow me? Instead of making it easy on him, it might come across like I'm drawn.
Yeah.
Your dad, or my dad is hard, or he's mean, or he's But my mom is so nice. She don't be talking about that type stuff. She don't be making the cons life hard. She makes it easy for me, and that's where we got to be careful at. So that same concept when we talk about morals, we got to be careful about. It's a thin line, bro. It's a thin line. So we
That's
just got to be mindful as parents to make sure that we aren't teetering it to the point that we damaging our children.
But you gotta think it's a catch-22 because that's the gift and the curse about raising kids in two different homes. It's a duality. The way that you're raising these
Mm-hmm.
kids in your home is not the way the other person may be raising their kid in their home. Their towns may be different. Things that they watch, attitudes, energy. I'm living it myself with my kids, so I see it. Once my kids come over
Mm-hmm.
here, first day they come back, it's like clockwork. Sleep first day. So I'm like, what the fuck were y'all doing the day over there at y'all mom house? Y'all was up, so it's like comfortability, it's different things. Like they love it in both homes, but it's like you're going to get two different messages. And if we're not in a cohesive unit, despite living in two different homes, it's never going to work. So it's like that's why it's like to the point now we'll have the little weekly meetings on the phone where we're talking. Let's compare notes. What is he
Mm-hmm.
doing over there? What are you doing over here? She messaged me the other day like, do Bella be like screaming and snapping at your house? I'm like, hell no. She don't do that here. She like, well, she do that here. Like, well, I'll talk to her about that. But yeah, that's not allowed either way. So if you on one accord with your co-parent, man, I think it leads to a more cohesive, uh, you know, growing up for the child, rearing for the
Mm-hmm.
child. But that's one of the
And
only things, man.
yeah, I we talk about that a lot too, and I agree. I champion that. I champion like working together. Like
Yeah,
sometimes, like again, I said the child is here, so we clearly got the ability to come together. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's like why make it so difficult? It shouldn't be difficult. This is the more challenging part, but it shouldn't be the hard part. You feel me? Like co-parenting. You
right,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like again, like so just talking about like morals, wanting to definitely want to make sure that we teaching our children, leading by example, number one, but also instilling the right ideas and right concepts in their mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's you definitely want to have respect for yourself, number one, because therefore you'll understand and learn how to have respect for others. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that stuff, some things just don't compare. You feel me?
yeah.
So all right, so I got the stat of the week. Excuse me, I'll be reading from my phone, right? So this is more like a geographical stat I researched. It says the southern U.S. has the largest concentration of multiracial Black population, 42%, and this is a stat from 2003. With other significant populations in the Midwest at 22%, in the western region 19%, and in the Northeast, 17%. Um, the states with the highest percentages of African American populations included DC at 44.4%,
Chocolate City.
Mississippi at 37 point, yeah. There, Mississippi at 37.8%, and Georgia at 33.2%. while Texas and Florida and Georgia had the largest total black populations. Um, major metropolitan. This is, I guess, this is just like an extra fact. Major metropolitan areas with large numbers of black residents include New York City, Atlanta, Washington D.C., Chicago, and L.A. What's your thoughts on that? How you feel about that?
Thanks for telling me these locations. I don't want to live around a bunch of niggas. Thanks for telling me the
Yeah,
locations. Cause nah,
I think I. Go
nah,
ahead.
no. Let me resend that. I wanna, cause I've actually there is
Mm-hmm.
a, I believe it may be Frederick, Maryland. There is a, it says the
Mm-hmm.
highest population of homeowners of black ownership in the United
Oh
States of
wow,
America. I mean, like the average
I'm
income is
familiar with
high.
Frederick.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I would
I
want
didn't
to,
know that.
yeah, so I would actually, I want to resend that statement because I would love to be around affluent, black people. In the whole, I think the whole government, the city councils, entirely black. So,
Mm-hmm.
I would love that. And shouts out to them, man. If I'm saying the correct city, because I did
Yeah.
recently see a video.
I'm not sure if that is a city, Frederick, Maryland, and I'm
Yeah,
familiar with it for sure. I actually used to work out there, and it's a lot of reconstruction going on. They building a lot of homes from the ground up. A lot of like communities. I don't want to
yeah.
call them gated, but they like communities.
And is it mostly black
Um,
out there? Did you say? Was it?
when I worked out there, I worked overnight, so I didn't see a lot of people there.
Yeah, all right.
But I would, yeah. So,
I'm
but
actually curious. Yeah,
yeah, but I could definitely see like the southern regions. That's kind of like always been my like understanding is that population wise, it's a lot of black people, and I know a couple. Maybe before 2003, this status from 2003. I know a lot. That was like a thing to go from from Pennsylvania. We from Philly, outside of Philly, people moving to Atlanta. That's been a thing over like, at least like the last
yeah,
maybe decade. You feel me? A lot of people moving to Atlanta. I tell you, I didn't you said Chocolate City. That they being that high in percentage is kind of shocking. I wouldn't have thought that they would be higher than Atlanta. You
yeah.
feel me? But it's Chocolate City. They call it Chocolate City for a
Chocolate
reason.
City, man. Have you ever been?
Mhm.
Beautiful.
We not, I'm not too
Oh
far.
yeah,
I'm in
you're
the
in, yeah,
DMV.
yeah,
Yeah,
man. Beautiful, man. Beautiful black
yeah, we right
culture.
in the DMV.
The food, man, it's
Yeah,
amazing, man. It's to see up there and
we
see
went
our
to the
people.
basement. We go to the games.
Oh yeah, see I feel like
Hmm.
between there and Baltimore, that's kind of where I plan on being at this summer. Like I love the vibe, I love the
Hmm.
atmosphere. Like it's out the way. Like it's just it's a nice
Hmm.
energy, and the food, the soul food is amazing in DC. So if you ever get a chance to go out there, some good spots, please check it out. Cause
I've been wanting some food. Yeah,
yeah,
me and Jazz been out there a few
side note,
times.
what's your favorite soul food plate?
Mhm. What's my favorite soul food? What
Plate like a
place?
like a plate,
Like
something
what?
like
Like
the
like
whole
build it
plate.
for you?
Yeah, build the plate. Yeah, build it, Nick.
Oh, soul food. It would have to be fried. Like we just doing strictly soul food.
Yeah.
Fried chicken meat.
All right.
Baked mac. The finest of baked mac. Shout out to my sister.
The finest
The
of the
candy, the candy yams, and I'm getting older, so I gotta balance my diet. So I give me a little bit of collard greens on the side with some cornbread. I'm gonna keep it simple, the regular shit. You feel me?
yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go turkey wings.
Turkey wing. I knew you was gonna go turkey wings.
Probably definitely collard greens or string beans. If they put the turkey butt in
Hmm.
the string
Hmm.
beans, that thing's something too.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't eat
Hmm.
cheese though. So it'll be no mac and cheese for me.
Okay.
So definitely
Okay.
sweet
Okay.
potatoes. Shots my aunt Kiki make the best sweet potatoes in the
Hmm.
family, and then probably some
Hmm.
cornbread and maybe some fried fish or something, man. Like that'd be
Fried
top
fish.
three. Yeah,
I
it
ain't
gotta
say
be the
fried fish
fried
should be
fish and with
fire.
the turkey wings, like
Hmm. God bless.
yeah, shukran, thank.
Hmm.
But yeah, like no, but I had to you start talking about the food on
We talk.
PC, got me.
But I'm gonna be honest. Well, see, we not in DC. We in Maryland. So,
Yes,
but Maryland food, a lot of like where we at, I'll be disappointed with a lot of the
yeah,
food. You feel me? We did like I said, we went to a Wizards game. We've been to a Nationals game, and I feel like we was at a foot. Was we at the? I think we was at. Oh no, we had an interview. We was interviewing the youth football over at Commanders play.
okay,
So we've been there. I've been around, been in and out like that. You feel
yeah,
me? But I haven't really had the opportunity to go to any. I'm like, where was me and Jazz just at? She had a dinner with her job but it was a place out here, Maggiano.
okay.
They was Maggiano. That was. But you know,
That's Italian.
Maggiano's,
That's
they
Italian
got them in.
restaurant, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's not like exclusive to DC, but
No.
we were in DC when we had that, and that food was pretty. It was
Yeah.
pretty fire. So southern region, or what would you consider? I guess this is kind of. Would you consider this southern,
Well, they
like
consider,
the DMV?
even in Delaware, they consider it down south. It's
Southern,
down
yeah, yeah,
this is
yeah. I can see
past.
that.
So, but they say what is
Yeah,
really past the Mason Dixon line is what they're really supposed to consider down south.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
I don't consider down south till you get to like South Carolina, like North
yeah,
Carolina.
yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
like still
yeah.
say North in the name. So South Carolina, that's down south. But then you said another quote about multiracial. Like you said, it's what 42% of uh.
42%. Yes. Yep.
My grandma told my cousin one time, if she can't use your comb, don't bring her home. So
Yo, yeah, yo, that
that,
remind me of my man. Something my man said. He said his mom told him something like that. That shit
hey, she
crazy.
remember how we first was meeting? I was coming around there to see Melissa. Don't forget. Forget. I was riding my bike to see. I was knocking on the door talking about
I
Kenny and
do
Josh.
remember though. You know, I remember them times.
Like, I'm
Yes,
knocking on the
yes,
door talking
yes.
about can Kenny and Josh come out. I'm really peeking to see if Melissa in there. Like, come on, stop playing. Like, they the homies, but
I remember.
that's what I was coming to see.
Yeah, I play baseball just for now. Like,
Yeah.
yo, that's funny, man. All right, what we got now? I'm sorry. That was shout out to DC in Atlanta.
Just a conspiracy theory
Mhm.
though. Google, look up your map on your Apple Maps right now. DC, and it's no longer Washington DC. It only says Washington now. After the
Hold
Trump
on, let me
this
see.
parade recently, I don't know what's going on, but if you look it up and then try to click to it, you'll see on the map it does not say Washington DC. It now just says Washington.
Let me see. They try and redirect the oh yeah. Oh yeah. No facts. It's crazy because when I was searching it, it said Washington DC, and I click on it, but as soon as it load up,
It says
it
Washington.
definitely says Washington. Oh
So,
snap!
I don't know what that's
Try
alluding
and
to.
confuse, try and confuse the what is it? Israel with the
See what's the capital?
try to throw them off.
You never know.
Take the DC off of it. Dang, that's crazy. All right, so moving along, we got was really dope. This one of the segments that you created last episode, and I thought that was fire. So I wanted to definitely bring that joint back.
Yeah.
This is the finish the sentence
Right.
segment. You
Yeah.
feel me? So the first joint I got for you is when I was a teenager, all I wanted to do was finish the sentence.
I don't think I can say that on the show.
No, is that you? I'm with you.
Lord, all I want to do is go.
Ah, that was fire.
Man, that
Okay.
was all I want to do as a team, man. I want to shoot, man. I want to be outside. I want to be in some things. Like,
Real shit though. Yeah, yeah.
when I went to
That's
college,
how.
he sent me with a box of like 60 condoms. Like, I think like that. How you know? He was like, I know. I'd been to.
How'd you know? Real rap though.
Yeah.
I would say the same, man. I had that same mentality, and especially summertime, like you looking for. I would say this though. This was like kind of like this kind of like made me think about this, like when we, being from Darby, being from the county, we will walk outside, even walking through Darby,
Yeah.
but walking to like through like Southwest and shit like that, like walking through the blocks and stuff like that. That was still when we was teenagers. It was still popping outside.
Right.
You feel me? Like you
Yeah.
go outside, you get to a certain part of the Southwest, it might be popping.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like people just outside, just that's just what it was.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like that was definitely like something that we got into as teenagers too, just walking through certain parts of the city, trying to see the ladies out there
Bro,
and get
that's
into
a
trouble and
listen.
stuff.
By the
So
time you got to think, I think I moved out Derby probably like around maybe 6, 7. So then I'm always going back and forth out past because it's not too far from where Derby
yeah,
is. And then
it's
come
right there.
around
Yeah,
like 13 years
yeah,
old, I'm saying exactly what you're saying. Like, man, Philly something else. Like compared, not fat shots to the
yeah,
Derby girls, the county girls, but man, Philly was something else. To somebody that was kind of
yeah,
secluded.
yeah,
So like even like on the Fieri
yeah,
charter, and I'm meeting girls from Mount Airy, from up north, from Logan,
yeah.
from
Oh yeah,
South
that was
Philly.
lit.
it blew my mind to see all these
Mhm.
amazing girls from all the different part of Philly. So that's what it was. Like it was
Mhm.
like really, man, that was the thing. The Fieri Charter, man, I had a ball. It was all about girls and girls and girls. Like it was just love. Man.
I forgot about the grade part, but
Yeah,
girls,
yeah,
yeah, the
yeah. I think
girls.
I had a teacher. One of the teachers pulled me out of class one time too. Took like, you got this girl crying in the bathroom. You need to choose her or the other girl. What is it going to be? I'm like,
Damn, you had it like that.
yeah, I'm like, Mr. Lawrence, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on in history class. I'm not worrying about either. Like, so it was fun because I had no
Mhm.
parents and my mom wasn't watching me. Like, I was shoot.
Mhm.
You got to think we had so in Fieri Charter, if we had off of school,
What's that? 16th?
yeah, what was that like 17
It's
inch?
like
It was like
16.
it was on
Yes.
15th and Chestnut first, and then on the 15th and
Okay.
Market, I think, and then it went to 17th and Chestnut.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so 15 Art Street, then went to there. So we would have off of school while my like so I'm catching trolleys to girls' house, they mom still at work. Like it would just be like different. So it was like it was no I can't imagine having a child in Philly now. Like cause
Yeah, shit
if I was
crazy.
doing it then, I can't imagine what my son be doing now.
And we ain't had it like the cell, and it's kind of like before the cell phone era. So like you might have had a cell phone,
Or a
but they
pager,
wasn't like,
yeah.
yeah, you feel me? That was the remember this joint, the start walking, I'm gonna meet you era,
I'm gonna meet you.
dog.
We gonna meet halfway. Yeah, niggas be lying. That was your ass. I always talking about I meet you. You gonna meet me by Main Street. I get to you. You still at the fucking bridge, nigga. You have not walked the half the way that I walked. I walked most of the fucking way.
Hey, that's too funny. My fault. Let me get this mic. All right, I got the next one. The next one is my teens were blank, but my 30s have been blank.
Uh, nigga, I'm still 26. I don't know what you talking about. You see this? I don't see a gray. I don't see no.
This face belongs
But
on the tens.
listen, listen. I'm telling you, they say you only as old as you feel. I still feel like I'm
Okay.
26 years old. Like I ain't even got to the 30
Mhm.
yet. So ask me in a couple more years how the
Mhm.
30s would be. But uh,
Okay.
my 20s have been life changing, man. It's like going through a metamorphosis, like a butterfly or some shit. Like from a caterpillar to a butterfly to this nigga that's just trying to be fly. So that's all I'm trying. That's all the 20s was. Just a progress, a change. Because it really helped me become the man that I am today. If I didn't go through the hardships, the successes, the downfalls, I wouldn't be in the position I am today to even talk like this. And for you, what would you say?
I would say my 20s were a blur, but my 30s have been, I want to say vivid, like to kind of like play off of the blur, because
Yeah.
I want to say like once I hit that 30s, I kind of
Oh,
like
it's more
started to
more
like
clearly.
understand it. Yeah, 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 yeah. But I also want to say challenging, vivid yet challenging. You feel me? But I think I would accredit that to the blur that my 20s were.
Yeah.
You feel me? Had I had the vision in my 20s, you know what I mean? The 30s probably would have been a little bit more smoother. But I'm grateful for the opportunity to learn no matter what age I am. You
Yeah.
feel me? Because some people
No.
never get it at all. So however, either way, I'm grateful to even be here. It's people that, we grew up with, you feel me, that ain't even get to see it this far,
Uh,
So
well,
blessed,
there's people that's
however,
younger
you
than
feel
us that
me?
look older than us. So they
Correct.
that's
Correct. All right, so moving along with I got two. I made a couple because again, I really like this Jones, so I don't want to. So we'll
let me
just
fast
fly
shots to
along with
Ed.
them, right?
Ed constructed this entire episode, all
Mm-hmm.
this amazing content that y'all
Yes, sir.
getting right here today. He handled all of
Yes,
this.
sir.
Like so, fast shouts to him.
Yeah, because I shout out to you, man. It's basically all I had to do was fill in the blinks. You feel me? So,
Working together.
like I said, teamwork, man. Like
It's a
that's
dream work.
that's what make this thing flow well. Is when you work together, when you got a team that you can trust and that y'all could bounce ideas off and y'all could just get this shit rocking. So my next one is my son has gotten his blank from me.
Yeah, he always got something to say back. That's I told you it's the hardest thing. Like what difficult thing is raising yourself because it's like I can't imagine how. I mean, I know how I was as a kid, like always talking back, and then he's so smart. So it's like sometimes he is justified in saying what he's saying, but to talk back in some restraints is disrespectful to an adult. So it's like that's really what he got from me is my mouth and my attitude. Like he gonna say something. Like he gonna speak his mind. So, well, what would you say your son got from you, or both your sons?
Well, I got three
Oh,
sons.
three sons.
It's
Yeah.
Elijah. Elijah is my 8-year-old.
All
Yeah,
right,
but I would say Charm. You
Charm.
feel me? Just because they got away. Like just again, I just see how they are with their moms.
Yeah.
You feel me? And they got their moms in their back pocket. So
Yeah.
I just it kind of like I was a mama's boy too.
Mhm.
You know, I remember like I tell my mom I would wait for her to come home. I'll be peeking out the window, the blinds of her window, looking at the like you can see her coming around the bend, like the car. You can see the cars coming around the bend. I'm like waiting. I'm like looking at the the headlights off the reflections of the houses
Yeah.
coming, like waiting for cars to see if it's my
Right.
mom. You know what I'm saying? Spoil riding. You know, in my younger years. So I would say Charm, like they got their moms, and I think that would translate eventually as they get older with like you know the opposite sex. So I would say Charm.
Yeah, you gonna have a tribe of grandchildren. You get the HR transferred to them.
I already shit crazy, dog. I said that to Jazz. I said that they wanted the children 20 years down the line, we gonna have a lawn full of children. You know what I'm saying? Like between like the kids and then you get to the point where you're a grandparent now. Yeah, you gonna be out there barbecuing for sure in
Yeah.
the summertime, bro. So all right. So the next one is this one was I did one for the son, so I wanted to do one for the daughter too. Um
Okay.
my
Yeah.
daughter reminds my daughter reminds me most of blank when she blank.
Uh, Probably most of me when she gets like when they say like we were talking about earlier when they say she has those screaming outbursts or something and just get emotional.
Mhm.
That's how I was as a kid. I tell you, I would slam if I couldn't find something. I'm slamming shit. Where is it at? Who took it? This so it was like
Mhm.
I had to
Mhm.
master and control my emotions, and she's it really gets that from me. Like my son, not so much. He don't have that
Mhm.
not able to control his emotions like that. But her, yeah, is somewhat like her, and she's getting a lot better at it. But yeah, she definitely got that from me. Like
Mhm. I would say the same. Like well, all of them. You know, they all have that. My daughters, in particular, they all have that like anger streak.
yeah,
And my oldest daughter, more particular in particular, she's 20. She'll be 22 this year, and she was always like she wasn't really like angry or bad. She was fairly nice, but since she's been older, she a mom now. You feel me? So she'll call me if she call me with like some stuff, some baby daddy drama. She be on tilt, so I be having to like talk her down. Like
goddamn
it'd be
children.
so I be laughing sometimes because I'm like, you sound like me. That sound like me, but baby, we're not gonna take that route. We're gonna do it different.
Yeah,
You feel me? So I would definitely say the same thing about all of my daughters. Like they all had that like that anger streak. So and then it's kind of like it's a learning opportunity for me. You feel me? Like to kind of like look at myself to see that in them, in my daughters too. You know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah,
like, yeah, you gotta tighten up too, bro. You don't want your daughters you doing the same thing your daughter's doing. Like you gotta be better, bro. So
yeah.
I would say the same thing, right? All right, so just to cap this segment off, and then we'll be moving on to another one of my favorites. You could get with this or you can't get with that. My last one is I got so this one I said I would give you a line from the song. So you don't have to you could finish the lines from the song, or you could just tell me the name of the song, or just want to make sure see if you're familiar with it. You think you could do that?
Hell yeah.
All right, cool. So my first one is, excuse me. My first one is shotgun in my drop, having fun with the Don system bass and conversation. I didn't say it like if I sing it, you gonna know it. So I read it. I read the lyrics.
Read it again? No, read
So
it
look,
again. They ain't got to
all
slow
right,
it down.
cool.
Read it
All
again.
right, cool. Shotgun in my drop, having fun with the Don system bass and conversation.
Nigga, I don't know.
You don't know that? Oh, you want to give it one more shot, or you want me to reveal it to you?
Reveal it. Because I'm like, I probably would know.
Shotgun in the drop, having fun with the Don system, based on conversation about how she been chasing me, facing me.
Yeah.
Say, give it. You don't know that joy? My way, Usher, my way. You don't know that joy?
Nigga, you went down to the shit where he was rapping on the song. Damn.
Yes,
All I
yes,
know is
sir.
she likes it my way. I ain't even remember the rap part. God.
I'm thinking that you gonna know that joint. I'm like, Dave, he's definitely an 8701 boy. He gonna know this joint.
Shit, I took it back. I should have been tripping lately. I ain't even throwing no throwbacks.
All right, no Usher. All right. So,
Hey,
all right, this is another one. I got one more for you, and then we can move on, right?
all right.
Um, it goes, I got chicks with accents, and I don't mean Hondas. My hands touch more bricks than Kwame's. I used to blind you for real, dog. Believe me, only feel comfortable around Ray Charles and Stevie.
Is that Cameron or Mace? No, that ain't.
I'll tell you is neither one of them, but you kind of like close with the era, and they are a rap duo from Philly. I
Oh,
give you
it's
that.
fuck. Major Figures. No, no. Yeah,
You
that's
cl-
right.
you was close. You close.
No,
You
not Major
close.
Figures. It's yeah, that's what's the no, no, it's not. Yeah, oh, Philly's Most Wanted.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Cross
them.
the
I used
border.
to. I used to.
Yes, sir.
Fast shouts to one of they niece. I went to school with. I used to be like, man, your uncle's went
Right.
aluminum. The niggas ain't even go platinum.
Hey. so so the dark skin one, I don't know. And
Well, I
that's funny
think
that you say major figures.
Boo.
You said major figures because the other one looked like Gilly to me. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I can see why you would say that. And they was kind of like in that same
No, man, he actually,
camp, like
man,
with
the
Pharrell.
boy from Philly's Most Wanted, he's actually doing amazing things now, doing like the Art Basel down Miami, like paintings and stuff, clothing, like fast shouts.
That's
They
fire.
doing all this like amazing
Which
things.
one? So
I
so you
think it's the
got
one
Boo
Boo.
and
Boo, I think
Boo
was his
is
name, the dark skin one.
so Boo is Boo lived on my block in Kyle.
Yeah,
You follow me? So his like during their heyday, they used to pull up. You see the limos pull up and everything. So I knocked on the door when it was snowing one time to try to like, because he had it was actually his pop house.
yeah.
You feel me? He must have got the house for his pop. You feel me? So I knocked on the door when it was snowing to try to shovel the snow. I was like 17, and he said no, but you could go to the store for me. He sent me to the crib to get he sent me to the store to get him some like Newports, all these different styles of Newports. Mind you, I'm only 17. Miss Kim, shout out to Miss Kim on 3rd Street, on the corner of 3rd. She wasn't really trying to fuck with it. She knew me from the neighborhood, but I guess she probably had got hit before, so she wasn't trying to because technically I was underage, but I was gonna be 18
Right.
in a couple of days. I had my ID to show it and everything. Like Miss Kim, I come here all the time. I ain't trying to get you in trouble. Like I'm just trying to get this money. Oh, you're gonna give me some money. You feel me? So however, she wound up giving them to me or whatever, and old head paid me like 20. Mind you, like I said, I'm like 17, so that was $20 around that time. That was all right.
Yeah.
You feel me? So mind you, I noticed, I'm like, dang, I ain't seen old head in a minute. So his neighbor was somebody that I was cool with, and tell me like, dang, yeah, old head passed away from cancer and shit.
Oh, dang.
Like not too far after. So I'm like, dang, I didn't even know he was sick. You feel me? Because he didn't look sick. He looked good.
No,
You feel
you
me?
gave him cigarettes. You
And
contributed to it.
yo, chill, dog. Yeah, don't say that. That's what I'm saying. Like I probably would. I wouldn't have did that, bro. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have got him the
Then
joints.
you knew, yeah,
You,
nah. That's just the asshole.
I didn't know that. Yeah. So, all right, man. Shout out to Philly's most wanted. Shout out to his
Rest
pops.
in peace,
Rest in
G.
peace. All right. So moving along. This is it. This is one of my favorites. Also, you could get with this or you can't get with that. My first thing is, listen, we gonna get to something today. Parents putting the child in the middle of their drama, their beefs. Can you get with that or you can't?
No, I can't because it's unhealthy for the kid. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
anything where parents are making kids do anything that's adult related. Raising the kids makes them parentified. Getting involved with the kid, parent stuff makes them too grown. Like I think no child should be involved in anything that is involved with should be two adults dealing with something. So no, I can't get with that.
I'm with you on that 100%. I agree. Not had and it's again, man. I've been through it. I've been on either side of it, right?
It's
Not saying that I've done it, but I've been, I've seen it, right, from both sides is what I'm saying, right? And we get the emotions, we upset about whatever we upset about, and we allow an ego instead of just digressing. We doing whatever we can, however we can, to try to hurt the other person. But like you said, you putting the child in the middle of it. That could have long term effects on them.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, like, I haven't always been the best version of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But however, I do aspire to be better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but yeah, no, I can't get with that at all. That's leave that alone. All right. So my next joint is children making decisions on their own with minimal input from mom and dad. Can you get with that, or you can't?
Shit, I go through that every week. Man, me and their mom was just saying we mostly just the chauffeur and the fucking bank. These little niggas, they're playing.
Right.
They going to their friend's house. They doing this. They telling us when they coming
Right.
here, when they going there. We just the ride
Right.
and provide the monies. But no, I can't get with that because I feel like giving kids too much power and too much autonomy is going to be bad in the long run. But I do think freedom is somewhat always good for some kids because
Mm-hmm.
it gives
Mm-hmm.
them that
Yes, sir.
like the free will. Like if God gave us free will so that we can show what choices we're gonna make. We gotta give our kids that same leeway. Let them see what decisions they're gonna make. So yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
good and bad
Yeah.
in some levels.
Yeah, it could be a double edged sword, and I think again I gotta agree with you to say like it depends on like for what it's worth. You feel me? If it's a if it's a test or an experiment being run by the parent, like I want to put my son in this kind of position to see how he gonna handle this. You know what I'm saying? Or put my daughter, see how she gonna respond to that. You know what I mean? And then I'm a watch from afar. That kind of makes sense. But I can't get with like relieving yourself of the duty because it might be too much. So you just leave the child to do it and you'll never double back and check on it. I can't get with that. I told the story last episode about me putting my son in that same kind of predicament where he was in maybe like I think he was in the first or the second grade. And I thought that he would just, I'm in the house with him, I'm just asleep.
Yeah,
I'm not sitting in the room with him while he doing school all day.
right.
And I think, I trusted that he would do the right thing and he went astray, so I had to revisit and come back and tighten it up. So, I think parents, the input from the parent is going to always be, even now, even as adults, we'll still need some type of insight from our parents, some type of guidance. So, you know what I mean? I can't get with that either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so getting a little bit into entertainment with these next ones. All right, 50 Cent's continuous online attacks against his former friends, and most importantly, his son. How you feel about that? Can you get with that or no?
I could get with it.
Okay, let me know something.
50 Cent always been an asshole. This is who 50 Cent is. This is
Mhm,
how he makes his money. This is how he profits. This is how it's a marketing
mhm,
genius. I don't know why the son just don't begin to use some of his marketing tactics. Like when he mentors him, shit, I put out a party that day. I host a party that day. I would do something towards though I could monetize this. So it's just like I really he doesn't. And didn't even say. I remember back in the day, he said when he was trying to come at Chameleonaire, like he was saying that just to hype him, and Chameleonaire didn't take the bait. He was like, "Man, I was trying to put you on." The beef with it created some money, created something from
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
he plays chess, not checkers. And I read his book, Pieces to Weight, and it's a lot of meticulous thoughts that he do. Even the 50 Powers of Law, Laws of Power he wrote. So he's really meticulous in what he does. So I don't always see it as take face value as what he's saying, like if it's negative. I think sometimes he's really being strategic what he's saying when he's saying it. It might
yeah.
be to promote a show or a movie without even
Hmm.
having to spend millions of dollars on advertisement. So
I'm a fan of 50 as a businessman. Just saying how he's been able to like carry on for all these years. I'm definitely a fan of that. I just don't like it's just like at some point you gotta chill, bro. Like I get it. I get it if you got beef with people, but it's like never ended with 50, man. And I think that 50 is one of those people where he has so much influence. And then you talk about power too, no pun intended. He's one of those guys that could really truly like help be a cornerstone of the uprising of the black community. You feel me? Even if it's just in the entertainment world. You feel
Yeah.
me? And I would love, and he's doing his work. I'm not. That's not to say that 50 ain't doing his due diligence, but I think that without the drama, because it could be the smallest thing. It could be the smallest thing that just doesn't align with him, and he gonna treat it like. And you got to realize too, they did try to kill him.
Yeah.
So that might, I think that play a lot into
Post
how he
traumatic
go
stress,
about people.
yeah. It's the shit never. It's, shit
Yeah.
is, it's always on site. It's always y'all trying to kill me.
Hmm.
Ah,
So it's up for anybody who is even on that side of things.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but outside of that, like I rock with 50. Even his music, I was listening to like some OG Unit earlier. He had the recent joint. He just posted something with about Fat Joe. Some shit going on with Fat Joe that I don't be getting involved with stuff.
Are
I
you
don't
talking
be.
about the allegations of Fat Joe pedophilia?
Yeah, yeah,
You ain't gonna say
yeah,
it, but I
yeah, yeah,
will.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm just saying, like until like it comes out to be true, because you could be accused
Oh yes,
for
you
a
can.
lot of
That's some
things. You know what I'm saying?
bullshit. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's not me picking sides. I'm just saying, like, I just try to be mindful of the things that I latch myself onto. But anyhow, he made a post about Fat Joe, and I couldn't really decipher if he was trolling or if he was, I couldn't really tell. But the song that he played behind it, and he was like, yo, I wrote this song for Young Buck. It was off a Young Buck album. And I'm like, I sound like 50, and it made me go back and listen to it because I'm like, 50 got some shit with him. You feel me? So I like him like that. I like him. I was listening to Pop Smoke a few weeks ago, the album that 50 executive produced. I think 50 used AI to do some of the songs on that joint. That's why that joint did
yeah,
so well. You feel me? However, like I just think like if he stayed in that space, in his creative space, and he built within that, he would be. I mean, he a large figure right now. Overseas, they love him.
yeah.
You feel me? They probably way more famous over there than they
Oh,
are
he on
here.
them
You know
them
what I'm saying?
tours, man. That's listen. That's why I'm so
Yeah, they love
hype
him over
about
there.
life. Like, 'cause when I think about stuff like that, and we ain't even
Hmm.
just begin to live yet. We ain't. I ain't me personally. I ain't been
Hmm.
out the country. I've been, Puerto Rico, but
Hmm.
I ain't even explored seeing the different things that I feel in my spirit.
Hmm.
I'm yet to see. So that's why I know, man. I'm just looking forward to this. And man, I ain't mean to cut you off, but just when you talking about London, that
No,
just
you ain't.
made me just think like, man, no, like
No,
we
you
got so many
good.
more places to go, and like,
No, we gonna definitely get to that, man. We gonna definitely get to that. But we can move on from 50 and move on to our last part of our this or that segment. Quincy Jones, rest in peace, left behind a $500 million fortune for his seven children, with each child to receive approximately 71 million. Can you get with that or no?
mm, my kids be mad at me. Y'all ain't all getting the same amount.
Okay, okay,
Y'all
okay,
ain't all getting the
okay.
same amount. How Deion
I can see
Sanders
that.
rate his kids? Like they all get rankings. Like every week
They really, yeah,
he ranks his
and they be serious,
yeah.
dead up,
I'm ranking my
trying to
kids
get
too.
that spot.
Yeah, right now they getting the most. We'll see. We'll see the rest. That's
That's
fair.
funny.
But that's dope though that he would
Yeah.
leave all his kids and he thought well out and long term plan. I think one of his daughters, Rashida Jones, she was on Park and Recreations on that
Hmm.
TV show. So she up 71 million now. She ain't gotta act no more. She don't want, but it's that's what we always talk about, like the planning, long term planning, the financial literacy, the having that, we can do this for our kids. It might not be in that same extent of 71 million, but we can leave our kids well off when we go. So I think that's amazing that he did that. So I can definitely get with that.
Hmm. Yeah, I would say the same. I could definitely get with that too. To be able to leave anything behind for your children is a blessing, right?
Yeah.
And I get what you're saying too, because you don't want to pass. Well, first off, Quincy Jones had been doing this for well, what, 50, 60 years. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to believe that he instilled some things into his children.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to watch his documentary a few years back, maybe about 5, 6 years ago. It was executive produced by one of his daughters. I'm not sure which one, but it was about his life, and I really enjoyed that, John. It was
Oh
very
yeah, that's when
informative.
he actually he was doing the orchestra for Frank Sinatra and everything, man.
You know what I mean?
He,
He had been doing
man, he
doing
bounced
music
from
for
one
years.
thing to the next and just was running it like, yeah. He was all that.
Yeah, so I to have left be able to leave that kind of like thing behind, and I'm sure to your point too, like it would have had to been like conversations, and for what it's worth, they might all be worth that. Like you said, imagine that. Imagine all your children performing that well. Like even if you ranking them,
They,
you will
yeah,
like imagine them all performing to the point where like no, that we could split this down. You
yeah,
feel me? They all number one. You feel
yeah,
me? That got to be a great feeling as a parent too. So I would I aspire to be able to leave home. I mean, leave a percentage of what one of them got. You feel me for my children?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let alone 500 million. So I could definitely get with that. Hearing stuff like that, it makes you, granted, like I said, he had been doing things for years. He executive produced some of our favorite shows coming up, some of
Yeah.
the biggest music albums and stuff like that. So he wasn't just any Paul. He was definitely putting his work in. So rest in peace to him and shout out to the kids for being able to
Yeah.
be a part of something so great. You feel me? All right, man. Moving along. We got what? Two more joints here. We got the man cave, and then we also got our Q&A, and then we'll be bouncing up out of here. So, man cave. Let's talk about these finals, man. You've been saying some stuff, and I want to know how you feel now that we going into a game 7 tomorrow night at maybe 8:30 on
I still
Sunday.
only watched one game, and now I'm only gonna watch the second game. It's gonna be game 7. I ain't been interested about this shit. First game was interesting
Ah.
to a degree because he made the game winning shot. Second game wasn't interesting. What they won? What they was up 2-0. They won, came back. Third
Nah, they
game,
lost.
they
They
lost
lost
what?
game. They lost
Lost
game
game
2.
2. They won game
Pacers,
3. Pacers won game
yeah,
3. What?
4 and 5, and
4-5.
OKC won 4 and 5.
Then they come back with this. So it was like everybody was expecting for the OKC to close out and go on game 7. I actually got a Rick Carlisle getting his second ring tomorrow night, and Halliburton shocking the world, beating the MVP, and gonna go get his first ring as well. I don't see nobody else
Yeah,
them ever getting another ring after this. I feel like it's the one and
yeah,
done like Dallas.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, 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 yeah,
teams is
yeah.
going
Them, yeah,
teams is going to revamp up. They're going to understand. They're going to play smart ball, shrink the floor. It's going to be a lot different next season. But yeah, I think I got the Pacers winning it all this year. It's basically how they
yeah.
playing.
They. I won't say they're the better team, but they're a good team. You feel me? I won't say
Yeah,
they're the better team, but again, we talk about Shea SGA. No disrespect to Shea, because young black brother, successfully doing his thing. But that foul
Fowlers.
baiting joint, yeah, yeah, yeah. He got to get that joint out of here.
Yeah,
Other than that, he's a great player.
yeah,
You feel
yeah,
me? He get to his spot. He is a good
yeah.
chance he gonna hit that shot.
And
You
that's a
feel me?
skill in
But
itself.
yeah, but as far as the Pacers though, they've been, again, I didn't realize the Pacers until round 2 when they played the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
When they got into that joint, I'm like, yo, this joint gonna be corny as shit. And I kept the game on. And I watched the game, and I'm like, yo, this joint lit. The Pacers was going crazy. So I kind of like been like keeping up with the Pacers the whole playoffs.
Yeah,
You feel me? The Pacers should have won game 4. They shouldn't have lost the game 4, but they let OKC come back and beat them. You
yeah,
feel me? They go back to OKC. OKC do what they supposed to do at home. You feel me? And then Pacers do what they supposed to do and protect home
so
in
where the
game 6.
final game at? Mm.
Is in OKC. So this the first game 7 in 9 years. The last game 7 was when Cleveland came back from 3-1 to beat Golden State in 2016. So this is the first game 7 we'll be saying, and I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a barn burner, a dramatic one. So I'm excited about it.
Just call me in the fourth
Hopefully
quarter.
them call me to let you know
Just call me in the fourth
what's going
quarter.
on. I think it's going to be lit, man. So I'm excited about it, and I agree. I think for like Indiana, this is the time. You feel me? I don't know if they'll like. I'd be surprised if they could like make a consistent return, because, like you said, teams gonna beef up. You got KD potentially on the move. You got Giannis potentially on the move. Teams gonna be tightening it up, and the same thing even with like OKC. They just gonna get better with their experience. You feel me? They've been on this run that they've been on. They've gotten better
Yeah,
throughout the years. You feel me? So they'll tighten up too. Even if it add pieces or just get better. You
yeah.
feel me? I think they good with what they got. I just think that they're too lax. One of his attributes, SGA's attributes, is his coolness. They talk about the aura,
Yeah,
his riz. He way too cool. Whereas like that was a desperation situation, and that's how Indiana treated it.
yeah,
You feel me? They was treated, and I just think that the experience isn't there. You got Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle is not only he's experienced in coaching, he's just an experienced coach.
right.
The other coach isn't as experienced. I'm sure he has his experience, but not as experienced. So I'm definitely. I said that in the beginning of the John. I'm definitely taking Pacers in 7, and we'll see. We'll see next week what it look like, and we'll be wrapping up our NBA season, man.
Yeah,
Um, so we didn't get a chance to talk about the BET Awards much, which is cool, right? But one of the things that stuck out to me, besides the fact that they had the shit was way too long. This shit was like 5 hours long. You feel me? A lot of performances. I did enjoy it. I thought it was pretty good. That was my first time watching in years. But one of the things that stuck out to me, or that hit that kind of like went viral on social media, was the interaction between Wale and Kai Cenat.
yeah,
Did you see that, John? Yeah. So basically, for the people that may or may not seen it, he runs into Kai Cenat out in the parking lot. Kai Cenat's getting in the car. Kai Cenat interacts with him, but I don't think Kai Cenat knew who he was, and he did know who he was because he didn't just like. It was just like a regular, "What's up, bro?"
yeah,
Like, and kept going. However, Wale turned it into this whole big thing about, I guess he felt some type of way because Kai Cenat didn't know who he was, and I feel like maybe he felt like he should have. What's your thoughts on that? Like, do you think first off, what do you think about Casa not knowing Wale? And then two, do you think that is a big deal? Because for me, I think that Casa is just young. He probably just don't know. You feel me? But do you think it's necessary for these streamers or these young boys to know, you know, somebody who hasn't been in the game for, or hasn't had done nothing big in the game for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years? I don't know the last time Wale had nothing. So
yeah. So
what's your thoughts on it?
being that I'm 26 years old, I do watch streaming stuff and all that stuff. I am in the loop with the thing. So,
Me and Jazz be watching that shit. What you mean?
y'all old heads, I know, but it's all right. But
Yeah.
look,
Yeah.
so he actually just did a joint. He was like, man, he pulled out the song. He like, I do know him. And when he asked when the song came out, he's like, man, I was 7 when the song came out.
Come on, what you want
Like
from
he
him?
don't remember. And then they actually somebody else. I'll send it to you when we get off of here. A guy goes to like a party and he has a picture of Wale. They like, who is this? They ask him like, that's Honcho. That's such. They don't know who Wale is. Like Wale got
Damn.
hits. He saved R&B. Me personally, I believe Ali saved R&B in the 2000s, like the late 2010s. When I say them songs he was coming out with, the something about nothing album, the Jerry Seinfeld joint, the joint with
Absolutely.
Scissor, like I think one Scissor was one of the first songs I heard with Wale. So like no, Wale did amazing.
Wale got some. He
He got
definitely got
hits.
some Jones. I just think that it hasn't been a while.
Yeah, it's been goddamn dog whiner. Yeah, it's
You
been
good?
it's been a
It's been a while
yeah,
since he
and
released
I don't
something.
even think he really that. Well, I mean, he's more focused on sneakers. He just came out with these new Jones. They kind of look like the Anthony Edwards sneakers, but he got them through Nike, and them Jones look fire. So it's like he more
Yeah,
focused
no,
on that.
Wale definitely one of them bulls. I like Wale, but I just think that he too.
He's too
I don't know what
emotional.
that
He
thing
been too
is.
emotional. That's him. Him and
Yeah,
Meek.
and
Like they was the
yeah,
two wrong niggas to be on the label together.
yeah, and I just think that wasn't wrong. If anything, I think he could have just took that as a learning opportunity for Kyle, like reaching out to him, not taking
Yeah,
it
shoot, I'd
personal.
have been
But I
somebody
think it
appearing on
also,
the joint. Like he could have just came to the show like how everybody else do. Come then like, damn, you ain't recognize me. Come on, let's do a stream or something. Like something to boost him up. Like so.
you got to think too. He's not like big on like social
Yeah,
media. So think about, but he knew Casanat knew who Jim Jones was, because Jim Jones is like, Jim Jones might not have more like hits than like a Wale. You follow me?
man,
But he's
man,
active.
man.
He's around.
Speaking of fucking Jim Jones, I just watched
Uh
that clip of him on the Fat Joe and Jada Kiss John where he talking
yeah.
about his son don't know more hits than Nas. He got more Billboard entries than Nas. You don't, brother. You don't. You got two. I think Nas got about 50 something. You don't even got platinum albums. Nas do. Like
I
Nas,
wonder why he would say that. And I
yeah,
like
I
Jim. I
feel like
wonder
he
why.
was, and the fact that he's saying this, I think is he trolling or the fact that he really know that or just he confused because
Hmm.
you don't have any
Hmm.
Billboard entries. Like they look it up, they stack by stack. Like Nas got platinum albums, you don't. Like I think Ballin' might have went. The single might have went platinum, but you don't have a platinum album. So
Yeah, no, he don't. I don't know, and him and Nas was beefing. They was beefing, during that time when they kind of like hit the waves. I forget what the beef was with. I think the beef was with him and Cam,
he was trying to tell
but
the nigga
Jim
to
was
dress
the
his age. That's what he was trying to tell him with the
just
beef right
hey,
came from.
Tress's age is crazy. I like Jim, one of my guys. I like Jim. I'm still I like Cam, but I don't know. I think that in order to go back to the original John, it was just like you got to be active. If you want these kids to know who you are, then you got to be active.
Yeah.
You can't be talking about what you did because I might know rappers from the '80s, but that's because of my due diligence. I listen to music. I like music. But if I did, if I walk past like a Kumo D, I would know who Kumo D is, but I'm just saying like these kids could walk past a Kumo D, and he one of the pioneers for this shit. It's just like if they aren't active, if they can't see you, then they might not know you. You feel me?
Yeah.
So anyhow, though, but shout out to Kai and Wale. I definitely rock with Wale. The album About Nothing, that's one of my favorite Johns. For Lauren, the first John, that's my John too. And I think the last studio album, Sunshine, that was a good John. So moving on, right? So I want to know, right? So this is a little joint I created real quick. It's not a segment, but I just want to get your idea, like kind of like pick your brain since we're talking about music. What artist would you use to create your life soundtrack? You get one rapper, one singer, one producer.
They the same person. Kanye West.
Kanye.
Kanye gonna do
Hot
the beat.
fire.
Kanye gonna do the
Okay.
music. Kanye gonna do the arrangement shit. He might even do the music video shit.
Okay.
He directed all, man, and it sound like stadium music, like a soundtrack of life. Like, yeah. Well, probably get one singer. Should I try to use the Weekend? So Kanye album produced by Kanye, rap by him, but Weekend singing. Yeah, that's gonna be some dark, twisted fantasy, sexy type.
I gotta go. I will have to go. For me, I gotta go Jay. I just think that Jay is like.
Then they got the bull on the back of the milk carton. Who been
This
missing?
the boy crazy, man. This boy don't like Jay, dog. I said him all types of Jay.
I just think he
don't like him.
He been missing since his man been in trouble. Like, it's just the Rock Nation parties was all that. You had the suit on and everything, but as soon as your man in trouble, you don't need sin. You don't come to the BDP award. You in the stands clapping for the kids. The Beyonce concert, you ain't having on stage right now. Normally he do the.
I would love to hear from you. No, I would love to hear but it's just I don't know. I think like with such circumstances is like it's tricky. You feel me? So I don't know. And again, that's another thing too. I see the stuff where people kind of like place him and that same thing. But again, like I'm not Kanye, one of my guys too. I'm a big time Kanye fan. But I try not to get too caught up into like what people speculate on.
You can
and just
separate
focus on
the artist from the music.
Yeah, and even we talked about even Diddy. My introduction to music is through Diddy his efforts with Mason and Big and all that stuff like that. Like my introduction to hip hop. That's where I came into hip hop in what they call it, the Jiggy era, the Bling era. You know what I'm saying? So
suit era.
that's it. Yeah, so it's kind of like tough to watch. So I just want to make sure that I'm making the right judgments before I cast any myself. You feel me? But anyhow,
man, we get you back to the sound check.
Yeah, Jay-Z for sure on the rhymes because I think especially at this point I feel like his ability to like touch certain subjects and I think that he's grown so much just as a person. He's accomplished so much as a person. He could probably, if we talk about a soundtrack, he could probably give you any aspect of that. You feel me? So and do it in an interesting way. Singer, I'm gonna go Bob Marley. I didn't mention Bob Marley a lot on this joint, but Bob is one of my guys. We talked about Malcolm X, and I will always say, like, again, I said like X was my favorite movie because I didn't have that thing, and I needed to know something.
Yeah.
So my number two guys in history have been Malcolm X and then Bob Marley. But Bob Marley, I would definitely take the Bob Marley on the vocals, on the singing vocals, and I I think production wise, I would have to. I like Kanye. I like Kanye on the but Kanye or No ID, right? Because I like
Oh
the
yeah,
samples, but I like the deep cuts. You feel
yeah.
me? And I feel like for that kind of like project, Jay-Z, Bob Marley, you would have to have some samples, but you would definitely have to have some like hard hitting deep cuts. So
Yeah.
maybe if not Kanye, no idea who's Dion is definitely a mentor of
Oh
Kanye.
Kanye,
So
yeah.
yeah, so either way, either way. All right, all right, moving along, bro. This the man cave section, and again, I drew up this week's episode, and I was excited to like had put my pen to this shit, so I might have drew up a bunch of different joints, right? So I got two joints. So we got two joints left for the man cave. Then we got Q&A, and then we wrapping up and we be done. All right.
I ain't even had no question
So
for Q&A this week, so
it's
don't
okay.
trip.
It's
All
okay.
right,
We just no, you good. We just do the one question. I got one.
all right.
Um, your top 5 clothing brands from the early 2000s. What you got? No, it don't have to be in
State
no particular.
property,
Yes.
Rockaware,
Okay. Okay.
Mesquite,
Okay.
Anichi, Academics. I think I might have did 6. So yeah, I kept Mesquite. Then Mike ain't gotta go with Mike. Nah, I had a Anichi sweatsuit, Academics pants, Jabos. So yeah, I gotta go
You
with
doing
Rock.
Mesquite tea?
I'm gonna
Give
go
me a
with
Mesquite tea today,
Mesquite T. People ain't even
right
know.
now.
Yeah, like when I say I go to school in Mesquite T, damn, you like so yeah, it was the so I said yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going state property, Rockaware, Mesquite, Coogee, Academics.
Hmm.
No, Anichi.
Academics probably was the best
Yeah,
too.
yeah, academic and
Academics
Anichi.
or
Yeah,
Anichi?
yeah,
Oh, and Anichi. Okay.
yeah,
I definitely, yeah, I would definitely say state prop. They definitely had us in the chokehold. State prop in Rockaware, even though they was two different names, they was under like the same branch.
yeah.
But Rockaware and State, so I'm gonna say them two as one for me. Academics for sure. They had the jeans on tilt. I'm gonna go. What was it? Because early 2000s. I'm gonna say True Religion came out. True Religion had made a splash. I know True Religion is a little later, but it's still before the tens. It's between 2000 and 2000,
Nigga,
before 2010.
I was still wearing Aeropostale around then.
That's a joint too. Aeropostale was that shit.
Aeropostale and
Where I just
American
seen
Eagle.
Aeropostale at? I might have where I seen Aeropostale. I was somewhere and just seeing Aeropostale, and I thought about that shit.
Yeah,
But but Trues was kind of like the top joint. You
yeah,
feel
it
me?
was. You got some true religion
But you
jeans.
but you had like niggas that where was it like Red Monkey, Antique, like
Joe's
yeah,
jeans, yeah.
yeah. So I'm gonna say just as far as like top Jones, I ain't had no True Religions. I couldn't afford that shit. But as far as like top Jones, you know what I gotta say too? I'm tripping. Guess jeans had a hell of a run. You
You
feel
had to
me?
guess that one Easter. Everybody
Yeah.
had on guess jeans and the pants. You was at the carnival on Woodland Avenue. Everybody had you had to get the Jones with the yellow stitching, the
Shiny
blue
Jones.
stitching,
Yep.
the
Yep. Yep.
red
Yep. Yep.
stitching. You switch it up. Like you got the black Jones with the yellow stitching and some butters on. Man, where you going?
Yeah, that was, and Guessies might have been like a '90s thing, but as far as like how I seen it, it was like definitely early 2000s for me,
Yeah,
like the early
yeah.
2000s. And I'm gonna
Clothing
say,
is just so different now. Like
yeah, and I'm gonna say this is probably like this probably never went out of style, but I'm gonna say Polo. I think
yeah,
Polo
ain't
kind
never
of
go
like
out style.
that was a '90s joint too. But again, I'm just talking. When you say Guessies, it was like Guess jeans. I mean, you could what you wear with your what you wear underneath your Guessy jacket.
Yeah, you might wear a polo shirt. You gotta think white
That's
tees
what
is around that time too. So
niggas will wear white tees. Yeah,
wear a white tee.
you had the red Tims,
No, I wasn't that
the cinnamon.
diabolical. I wasn't. See, I told you, my mom ain't let me get finished. I wasn't allowed to get felines. I wasn't allowed to get butt nakeds. I wasn't allowed to get no red tims. I was only allowed to get beef and broccolis and
Okay,
butters or the
well,
black one.
no, mine was on point
Yeah.
because my mom was coming to the house with some shit.
As
Dog.
long
She
as you
was
seen
coming.
that Timberland tree, here you go, baby. Here you go.
covering my shit up. You know, in middle school, niggas a bird on you for having the motherfucking butt naked, dog.
We had this one
Yeah,
boy
shout
in
out my
college.
dude. She did her best.
I ain't gonna say his name. Well, she what they for. We had one homie in college. He had on butt niggas, and his whole nickname for the rest of the time was Souls. Everybody, where Souls at? Like, he talking about because he had butt niggas on.
Called them souls. And they had one soul. They had the single
They had
soul.
two souls. Yeah, you sold out fucking with you.
No, that's funny as shit. So all right, I said state prop and rock. I put them as one. I definitely agree. Academics was probably some of the hottest Jones gene wise. Then I said True Religion.
And guess.
Then I said Guess Jeans. I could have probably said something like I got some honorable mentions, but I'm just saying like
You ain't
top
never
Jones
have a
like thinking
Fuji
about
sweater?
me and that month. No, I ain't had no name brand clothes, bro. I might have had like Rockaware, like on in state prop on a like the one state prop joint I remember was it was the short set,
Hey,
but it was like sweats
hey, you got to
and a
get your
rock velour.
you got to get your lick back, man. It's time. It's time.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
get your listen. I'm
S dots.
it's time you got to get them clothes. If your mama ain't get them for you, you get them for yourself
Yeah.
now. Like, listen, I got a whole
Yeah, no,
bunch of
I mean,
toys. I got a whole bunch of Toy Story toys in my room that I buy for myself as an adult because my mama didn't
as a
buy it
lick
for
back.
me. That's my lick back. I'm still pleasing that little boy as a kid. My mom, I still wanted. I told her I want the whole collection. She said I ain't getting all that shit. I got it now, motherfucker. So, excuse my land stuff a little.
That's right.
So I'm telling you, you got to get your lick back. You got to get your lick back.
No, I didn't. That was just like a sign of the time. I think because
But you said your mom was smart with money and financial. You was getting
she
all
was.
fresh
I
stuff
mean,
from
I mean, she
Ross
got
and
clean.
yeah,
Yeah, I had clothes and shit. It just wasn't what I wanted. And she told me like, all right, okay, you want academic jeans? That's what I did. I got my first paycheck from work, and I went right to the store and got me some academic jeans. I went down Bennett's on down in Derby at the bottom. They had
yeah,
the academic jeans on deck. I went right in there and picked out a pair of spent my whole paycheck on some academic jeans and shit. But no, I like Rockaware, but like Guessies, I ain't have a lot. I had like a pair of Guess jeans
yeah,
and shit, but I didn't have like the Fire Jones, the Jones with the stitching, or the shiny Jones and shit like that. So, but so my fault. Guessing Polo, yeah. Anichi definitely. Remember what was it? Azori? Remember Azori jeans?
yeah. Oh yeah, I remember Zori. Yeah.
Azori jeans was fire. Pelly, what was it? Or
Oh, man,
Pepe
I kept
jeans?
a Pell leather on, man.
Oh,
Like,
Pelly, yeah,
the
you was
Pelly,
definitely. I could definitely see you with a leather jacket on and
yeah,
shit. The Pelly Pel.
yeah. Listen, well, look, your mom wasn't getting you that shit, but y'all lived in the house. We was getting all that shit lived in the apartments.
Yes,
Priorities.
yeah, you shot out,
I just
dog.
telling you, shit. We probably had a closet
Yeah,
full of fucking first down payment right there. Shit, just want to
yeah.
be styling like.
In a closet full of first down payments.
Like,
Shout out to both moms, though, man. They did what they did their best, man. They did what they thought they should do,
yeah,
man. So, yeah, I mean, the good thing is that here we are. They made us,
yeah,
man. Made and raised us. So shout out
yeah,
to them, man. All right, so I gave you my 5, right? So my last one is, and we might have kind of like touched on this kind of like this topic a little bit just earlier in one of our earlier segments.
yeah,
So this is kind because I got a little creative at the end. So your top 5 summertime no school activities / events from your childhood teen years. The top 5 things to do. So it's summertime, right? You feel me? So again, we go. Remember, I said, well, I think with the first, it was to finish the sentence, John. In my teen years, all I worried about. So I'm thinking about like, and again, we talked about walking the streets, like, you know what I mean? Just going
yeah.
for a walk. You and your homies, shit, y'all get dressed up and shit. Y'all walk. So what's your top 5? Like, you home from school, you ain't got to go to school. What you doing with that time? That's what that question is built on.
All right,
Any
so
age group, or just your childhood, though.
I flew to like my dad lived in like my dad like raised me. He lived in St. Louis most of my
Mm-hmm.
childhood, so I would fly to St. Louis almost the summers. Like I would to the point where, like my mom would put me on the plane and I would sit in the back with the stewardess and stuff, and I would be like a kid by myself, and then he would be waiting for me when I got to St. Louis. So that was probably like one of my favorite memories. And then he had a lawn care company, so I always like still to this day I love to cut grass, like just to see the
Mm-hmm.
beginning
The
part of the
lines.
line. Oh man, he's mastered that. Like
Mm-hmm.
told me like how to do it. So I still like love that. So it's basically the traveling, the lines, and then it's a different vibe out there too, man. Like it's just I feel like every kid should come to summertime. You should get away from your comfort zone. You should get away from the norms of if you from up north, you should go down south. If you from down south, you should go up north. You should go anywhere away from your comfort zone because it was so decent to see the different mindsets, the energy. So it's like the traveling, being around people. So shit really sound like just St. Louis at this point. Like that's what, but yeah, definitely traveling, the being around people, the cutting grass. Just I feel like just nature, summertime. Like I can't think of one specific thing. But I feel like that's the correlation is just being outside, being around good people, traveling, the nature. Just I can't like we don't have the life today, like because we grew up in like different parts of St. Louis. Like sometimes outside, sometimes Ferguson. So it's like backyards. I mean, backyard to go like for stuff we don't see that up here. We don't see a backyard like that in Philly. Like we, so it was just good to see, and it was amazing to see. So I would just say seeing different things, traveling, the nature. That's the probably would be my favorite childhood memories.
Word,
And
word.
also just being with my
I was
dad too. So
word, word. I would say like that time, like we always end up bringing up Kenny and Josh. Shout out to them.
yeah,
Just that whole point in time where again I'm running through the mean streets of Kyle from 9 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m. You
yeah,
feel me? Just playing baseball, playing video games, going to the store. You know what I'm saying? Just being a kid and
right.
and being being able to do that and not have it. I wasn't going to no like summer camps, but I was still, my mom was at work, but I still was. I guess I was being constructive. Like I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't being destructive with my life. I wasn't getting in trouble, but getting cops calling my mom and all that stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like it was. So though that was they probably my favorite times, and that age range for me probably run from like I'm gonna say probably from like 11 to maybe like 14, 13, 14 myself. So it was a couple summers. It was like summers, playing baseball over in the old Cowin, the Cowin yard
mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. That was fun to me. I would definitely say going to the beach. Going to the beach. I still have yet to go there this summer, but going to like you talk about nature, like for me it's the beach.
Yeah,
Being next to the ocean. And it ain't even so much being in the ocean. I could walk along the front of the ocean and be like vibed out. You
yeah,
feel me? So that's definitely one of my like summertime Jones. And I gotta say, I don't know if I could do five because I didn't. But I say like top five, like no school, summertime Jones, like activities to get involved in.
yeah,
As a kid, it was that like as a kid, like like I just think like having that excitement of meeting a new person, like meeting a girl and stuff like that. That was always fun. You feel me? Like, and I
yeah,
was young, like I was young. So it wasn't always about being like physical with a girl, but you might, talking to him on the phone for the first time and all that stuff like that. That was I spent like a lot of my like preteen days on that type time. So I didn't come up with five, but I would say like those three for sure. And obviously not having to go to school, that's always fun.
yeah.
Staying home, running up my mom
Electric
electric
bill.
bill on the AC. You feel me? So yeah, water. And then I'll say for the sake of doing five, I'll say like hitting the water ice. Water. I ain't had like a water ice. They got a water ice joint out here, and they Jones is pretty good, but it ain't Fred's. You know what I'm saying? Let me get a pizza pretzel.
Oh yeah, remember the
You feel
pizza
me? Like,
pretzels right near the Cowin John?
come
Yeah.
on, man. I need
I
that
ain't
right
even
now.
eat
I need
cheese.
one.
I ain't even eat cheese, man. The pizza pretzels
Yeah,
something else.
I could use one of them Jones right now. So yeah, shout out to the old days, man. They was the days,
Yeah.
bro. All right, so that wrapped up the man cave segment, bro. So we just got the Q&A and then we done, man. We out of here, bro.
Yeah,
We just hitting an
think my
hour and a half,
yeah, I
so
know. I think my phone on like 1%. I mean, not
you
1%, like
about to die?
5%
Oh,
anyway. Hold on, no.
all right, yeah, no. So the Q&A is from Jay, one of my long time homies, more like a brother to me. He sent us over a Q&A for this segment, so shout out to him. Maybe one day he'll be on we'll have him on as a guest.
All right. Okay.
So his question is, and I just to kind of like make it because I don't want to burn it down. What do
So,
you feel the
that's good.
No, you good. You good, bro. What do you feel the difference between peace? What do you feel the difference is between peace and purpose, or if there is any
Mm,
peace and
shit,
purpose?
you can find your peace in your purpose. You can find your purpose in your peace. Yeah, I feel like
I agree.
they go one and the same
They
to
could go
me.
hand in hand. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I feel
yeah.
like that's my life. My purpose is to help people, provide things for them. Like I feel like I was put on this earth to be a helper. So I feel like my purpose is providing other people peace, and that in turn provides me peace.
I would say like a flip side of that is that some people might not have peace, depending on what their purpose is. They might not be able to have peace. They might sacrifice peace in order to like go after their purpose. You feel me? Or the flip side of that is they might abandon their purpose just for the sake of having peace.
Right.
You feel me? Depending on what those things may be. So I agree with what you said. And I agree that they could go hand in hand, that they could definitely coexist and they could definitely align and be one and
Yeah.
one with each other. The difference is, I think, again, I don't think it depends on what your purpose is. I would say, depending on what your purpose is, I agree with you in saying like they could go like I believe they could go like hand in hand. You feel
Yeah.
me? Peace, though, I think it would have to be a lovely feeling to be able to have the two, like you said too, to be able to be living in your purpose and also be maintaining attaining peace along with that.
I got a
Yeah.
saying: if it don't affect my I, my P, or my N, I'm not worried about it. My income, my
Okay.
peace, or my nut. So if it don't, if
Yeah.
well, any of these three of these things, you can't affect me.
Yeah.
I said it's my IPN, like that's my sign. So
Weird.
I'm telling you, like, no,
Weird.
if it don't disrupt your peace, man, don't let it disrupt you.
And purpose is important. I think purpose is definitely important. If you can find that in your life, it may actually lead to some
Peace.
peace.
Oh,
You feel me?
absolutely. You know what I mean? People out
You
here
know what I'm
for
saying?
the purposely driven life. I read that
hmm
book. So yeah, it's man. Imagine the things you can get from to have a purposely driven life. To have something every day you wake up, you know what you want to do. You have a meaningful impact on other people's lives. Like that can bring peace, that and happiness. Also, a couple
And
lives.
also the people that's in you, that's a part of that with you too. That matters too,
Yeah,
because you could be in search of your purpose, or you could be living in your purpose, but be surrounded by like not the right things or not the right people. So, and that could mess with your peace. So you could be positioned correctly based off of what your purpose is, but not having the right people around or the support system that could mess with your
yeah,
peace. You feel me?
absolutely.
I think that like as far as like the difference, I don't really have an idea on like what the difference would be, but I will say like they definitely if if strategically placed, they definitely go hand in hand.
Yeah,
And I think it's necessary to
absolutely.
have both. You feel me? All right, man. There goes the show. That was episode 6. We've reached the end.
Gang, gang.
Thank you if you've made it this far. Oh man, I'm tripping. I gotta get better at this, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, y'all comment, y'all like, y'all share this joint if y'all see it, man. Davon put a lot of work into this, a lot of energy into these episodes, and we gonna continuously grow, man. Like shout out to whoever made it this far. And before we go, Davon, I just want you to leave off with that advice thing for your children. Any advice that you could give your children?
Yeah,
What would it be right now?
on my goddamn nerves or something. All right, pay
It's
attention.
the same joint. Like
Yeah,
that's part of parenting. Like I think you said that the last time, and it's pretty consistent. Like it could be consistent.
yeah. Like
And
just listen. That's all
I
I'm
was,
saying. Just listen.
I would say, you see how this episode start. I gotta see how it look on whether or not I'm gonna
Oh
keep
yeah,
it in.
keep
Well,
that in, man. Cause I was doing some little
baby girl, she
narration behind it. Like, you keep that in, man.
she get crazy. You know what I'm saying? If anything, it might make it to the for promo for the joint or however.
We
But
gotta start having blooper reels too. So yeah, we got.
yeah, yeah,
That's
for
it.
sure. But I would say my advice is definitely going again. Listen, man. Take the direction that's given to you. A lot of these kids they be smart, but they be thinking they might be too smart for their own good.
Yeah,
So they think that they know everything. They think that you can't tell them anything. So I would definitely say listen to your parents, listen, respect your elders, and stay focused, man. Like
right.
you gotta stay focused out here, man. So there you have it, Black Dad Podcast. That was episode 6. Shout out to Davon. Shout out to our viewers, our listeners. Shout out to Jazz for helping me piece this joint together. Shout out to ZZ for finally going to sleep. You know, I talk a lot and I'm loud, but she probably finally went to sleep to the sounds of my voice. So we shall return next week,
Gang,
man.
gang.